Hi, everyone. I hope you've had a blessed Easter. We're going to continue to read our story, All the Answers by Kate Messner. And this is chapter 26, The Field Trip of Doom. So here we go. Bright sunshine lit up Monday morning. The blue sky was like a giant billboard that read perfect day for the field trip of doom. For a moment, when she first woke up, Ava had thought about being sick. When she was anxious, the journey from nervous, queasy stomach to actual vomiting was a short one. She was already halfway there, and if she threw up, she'd have to stay home. But then Mom would cancel her appointment. That couldn't happen. Mom had to go to the doctor, which meant Ava had to go on the field trip. So she left for school early and didn't wait for Sophie. Ava dropped her saxophone off in the band room, turned her permission slip in at the office, and headed to the cafeteria where Miss Avery was taking attendance. When she finished calling names, or when Mr. Avery was taking attendance, when he finished calling names, he said, "Okay, you can head out to the bus now." Ava didn't bother looking for Sophie. Sophie was probably still mad, and Ava knew she had to do this on her own anyway. She marched out the cafeteria door, eyes straight ahead like a soldier marching into battle. She had a plan. Ava had read online that the adventure course had a policy. If you fell off the course and ended up dangling by your harness and couldn't get yourself back up, they'd send somebody to rescue you. And once you got rescued, you were done for the day. You couldn't go back up there and keep trying. Ava figured that was to make sure people tried really hard to rescue themselves before they called for help. But it didn't matter why the course had that policy. All that mattered was that you were done for the day if you got stuck and got rescued. Nobody could bully you into trying again because you weren't allowed anyway. Ava didn't give Sophie a chance to not sit with her on the bus. Ava took the first open seat next to Amy Titherton, who was already playing some game on her phone and didn't even look up. Perfect. Ava pulled out her book. She just wanted to get there and go through the training so she could fail and get rescued and be done. When the bus pulled into the adventure course parking lot an hour later, Ava got off without looking back. She hurried into the lobby with Mr. Avery and collected her harness. The girls working behind the counter seemed more concerned about Tom, the cute new guy from the community college, than they were about Ava's survival. "Go on out and they'll give you directions for setting up your harness," one girl said with a wave, then turned back to her friend. "Anyway, Amber told me Tom had a girlfriend, but they broke up. How could anyone break up with those dimples?" Ava went out to the porch and sat down near Luke Varnway at one of the picnic tables. Leo walked by and quacked at him. Luke got up and followed Leo, stepping all over the back of his sneakers the whole way. Leo quacked louder, and every quack reminded Ava of all the messes she'd made with her dumb magic pencil. She couldn't give Luke his secret back. She couldn't undo what the pencil said about her mom. She couldn't make it not true, and now that she knew, she couldn't unknow it. Ava looked at her watch. It was 9:08. Her mom would be leaving for the doctor's office in a few hours. Not long after that, she'd find out she had cancer. "Hi, everybody, and welcome to Adirondack Adventure." A guy boomed out from the far side of the porch. He smiled, and his dimples announced his identity before he said, "My name is Tom, and I'm going to help you with your equipment. Safety comes first out here. We want to make sure everyone has a great time." His appearance caused a flurry of whispering among the girls. Ava snuck a glance at Sophie, who was standing next to Bethany Bridges. They whispered and laughed, probably about the dimples, Ava thought. Sophie loved dimples. "Let's get started." Cute Tom showed them how to step into their harnesses and tighten the straps. Then he took them to a little practice course to go over the rules. It was pretty simple. There were 2 safety straps with clips attached to your harness. You always had to keep at least one of them hooked into something when you were up in the trees. That way, if you fell, you'd have one to catch yourself. So when you moved from one platform to another, you'd unhook one clip and hook it onto the new safety line, then go back and unhook the second one and move that. Always attached. "You'll go through a safety demo now and show me that you are listening," Cute Tom said. A few of the girls near him giggled. They'd obviously been looking more than listening, but they lined up at the edge of the course. Ava got in line too. When it was her turn to get her equipment checked and demonstrate her clipping and unclipping, skills on the practice course, Cute Tom tugged on her safety lines and nodded. All right, try out this tightrope and show me you'll be able to do this safely up in the trees. Remember, you're on your own up there. Ava looked at him. Aren't there guides on the platforms with us? Cute Tom shook his head. We don't have guides for every platform, so we spread out on the ground and keep a close eye on everyone from there. That's why you practice before you go up. Don't worry, we'll holler if we see you're forgetting something. Ready? Ava climbed the ladder, clipping and unclipping and clipping herself in all the way up. Jason and Becca Case were already at the top, attached to a safety line over the wooden platform. Jason went first, soldering across the tightrope as if it were a foot wide instead of half an inch. Cute Tom had said it was fine to grab the red safety line that ran over the rope, since it was good to use for balance, but Jason barely touched it. You make it look easy, Becca said, laughing. She started out more slowly. Go ahead, Cute Tom called up from the platform where Ava was waiting. Ava's stomach dropped out from under her. Go on the tightrope at the same time as somebody else? What if Becca jiggled it? Ava unclipped one safety line and moved it ahead. Then she moved the second line. She put a tentative foot on the rope but kept her weight on the wooden platform. She could feel the line vibrating with every step Becca took. Come on, Eli Henderson was waiting behind her. Ava took a deep breath, grabbed the safety line overhead, and shifted her weight onto the tightrope. It bowed underneath her, and her stomach felt as if it might drop right down to the pine needle ground below. But she didn't fall. Just keep going, she thought. Keep going, and there's a solid platform on the other side. Ava took some more baby steps. She kept her eyes on the back of Becca's ponytail. Hold on tight, tiny step. Hands creep up. Hold on tight, tiny step. Hands creep up. On some level, Ava understood that she wouldn't reach the end of the rope until next Tuesday at this rate, but she couldn't make herself move faster. She took another tiny step, and the whole wire sank under her foot, then bounced a little. Oh! Ava's hands tightened on the safety line, and she looked back. Eli had stepped out onto the line and was moving fast. Step, step, step towards her. Woohoo! He shouted as the cable boned up and down. Ava was pretty sure he was bouncing on purpose. Why would anybody want to feel that? Hey, take it easy, Cute Tom said from the ground, and thankfully the bouncing settled to a gentler shake. While you guys are up there, I want to demonstrate something, okay? Somebody fall for me. Fall? Ava was already shaking. Even the thought of falling made her cling to the safety line for all she was worth. When she did that, the safety line dipped from her weight and she lost her balance. She panicked and kicked at the tightrope to try to catch herself, and then it was gone and she was dangling by her arms, kicking in the cool fall air. Ava would have screamed if she'd been able, but her heart was thumping so wildly she couldn't even suck in a breath. Great, now just let go, Cute Tom called. No way was Ava letting go. Her fingers tightened around the safety line, but it was cutting into her hands, cutting off her circulation, and the weight of her body dragged her down. Her fingers were slipping. She couldn't breathe. She was starting to see spots, purple and green and black spots in front of her eyes. And the next thing she knew, the safety line slipped from her sweaty hands and she fell. But before she even had time to think, no, she felt a tug around her middle and her legs. The harness had caught her. She was dangling in midair. Perfect, Cute Tom said, pointing to her. See how the harness catches you? It's like those little kid swings at the park, Becca said from the safety of her wooden platform. It was, Ava realized. She was just starting to breathe again, now that she understood she wasn't dead or bleeding, just hanging, swinging by the harness strapped around her hips. Okay, Cute Tom said, stepping up to Ava. If you were out on the real course now, you need to pull yourself back up to keep going. But that tires out your arms. And since you helped me out with my demonstration, you get to cheat a little. He pulled over a small step ladder and helped Ava find her footing. Climb back up to the line now and you can finish. Ava didn't want to climb anywhere, but there wasn't much else she could do with everyone staring at her. They all thought she'd fallen on purpose as a volunteer. So she climbed back up onto the awful rope and clung to the safety line as she baby stepped her way to the platform and ladder on the other side. See, said Cute Tom as Ava unclipped and clipped her safety lines all the way back down to the ground. Nothing to it. Now you guys can head out on the real course. He pointed down a trail that led into the woods. It ended at a rock wall beneath a platform at least 3 times as high as the one on the training course. Ava's stomach twisted. She thought she might throw up on Cute Tom's hiking boots. She looked at her watch, 9:34, and headed for the rock wall of doom. Oh, wow. That was a great chapter. Okay, so 27's tomorrow, and that's called Tight Ropes and Hula Hoops. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll look forward to sharing some more of the story with you tomorrow. Bye, guys.